of, the professional learning communities, which is one of the guiding principles of quality assurance, supports innovation. It's important that as a school you support innovation. New things. When talking about innovation, talking about doing things in a better way, not necessarily a new way, but in a way that would suit what you are supposed to that would suit what the results you want to get in a better way. I'll put it that way, not a new way, but in a better way. And it's very important that school management are able to embrace innovation, because innovation could come from, the ideas could come from anybody in the school system, and at this point in time, at this point where we have to deliver learning online, you'd find out that different people have different ideas of different ways we could do things. So it's not bad to actually look at it and see, okay, let's see, is this going to work for us? Is this not going to work for us? And also when trying to be innovative, it's also good to consider the factors involved, because just doing things because they're new it might not suit your school. It might not suit the kind of parents you have in your school, the kind of children you have in your school. It might not suit the kind of content that you want to deliver. Now, so it's important for us to plan according to what we have, even your funds. All of these things come into place. We want to talk about innovation, about doing things in a better way, in a new way. Now, networking is very important. Having a network of schools, having a network of teachers, of people with different practices that they can actually come together to talk about how things can be better. Okay, you do this in your school, or you're doing this online with yourself. How do you achieve this? Okay, I do it this way. All of these things are very important for the growth of the school. The saying goes that and that's the same thing for schools. It's important that we have a strong network. Is very important, and being coherent. Coherence is very important too, because for you to be able to achieve quality, you must know what you're doing. It's not dilly-dally here, there. You're coherent, you're on point, you're following the situation, you know what's going on, and we move on to the trust and shared accountability. For quality assurance, you have to be accountable. You have to be able to document whatever you do. People must be able to trust you, because of the way you do what you do, and they see that you're able to deliver on your job. You're accountable to people, because as educators, we don't do these things for ourselves. We don't teach for ourselves. We're not teaching ourselves or teaching our children or anything. We're teaching other people's children, and we get paid for all of these things. So we need to be accountable for what we do. We need to be in a situation that when they tap you at night and say, oh, this, what do you think about this, or what happened? You should be able to say, okay, this is what happened, this is what I'm doing about it, or this is the way we're sharing this, or this is the way we're teaching this because of this, or the child is at this level because of this, and the child is moving on to the next level. Now, these are things that need to come in place when we talk about quality assurance. So different data for a balanced view. Of course, data is important. I always say that having data is one thing and using it is another. A lot of us have data. Oh yes, we know the number of this, we know the number of that, we do this and we do that, but we do not use that data. We just have it there for the files. We have it there for the records. Not we don't use it. And the other ones, I would actually call it the 8 guiding principles, because we have other ones like building capacity for data, being able to interpret data, being able to apply data. All of these are very important if we're trying to put in quality. We're trying to control quality in what we do. Okay, I'll just move on now to quality assurance and distance learning. When we mention quality assurance and distance learning, okay, we'll look at our existing system first. Because you can't get better if you don't look at what you have already. You can't get better if you're not sure about what you want to change, or what want to evolve in the system. So it's very important that existing systems are looked at. And the existing systems look at what will be transposed. That's what we need to change to make something better out of what we already have. You're looking at change, you're looking at new systems, trying to harness new systems. And when we talk about all of these, when we talk about quality assurance, you mentioned earlier, that I was going to come on to talk about maybe the quality assurance departments or something like that. It's important for us to know that there are actually people that are responsible for quality assurance, not necessarily a department in itself, but the people responsible at their different levels for quality assurance. A teacher is responsible. You can't take away from the teacher. The teacher is responsible because the teacher actually comes up with what he or she does, comes up with the personal content of the personal lessons that they teach the children. So they're responsible for what they churn out. They can't just decide, okay, I'll write my lesson plan upside down or inside out. No, they should be responsible for what they put out there. We have the middle leaders. Now, these are the people that would also, check what the teachers are doing and be sure that learning is being delivered by their team. And these are the middle leaders are those that actually work in between the teachers and the senior leadership management. And of course, the senior leadership management is also involved to check the whole school system. The whole school system, the policies during procedures being used for distance learning. From time to time, of course, they should always be on top of their game. They should always check to see, okay, what's going on, who attended class day. When I listened to Dari, it just correlated with what
I think CC, can we have you speak louder a bit so that I think there's some people that are making a request online that they would like to really hear all those points, but it's a bit low. Can you
okay, sorry. Am I louder now?
Thank you very much. Maybe like ×2. Thank you.
Okay, am I louder now? I don't know. Can you hear me?
If you can be louder, like really loud. Thank you.
Okay. So let me just increase this. Okay, yes. So now, is that better? I don't know if you can hear me. Okay, I hope that's better.
Yeah, it's better now. If you can just maintain or maybe increase it a bit, that'll be fine. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you very much. So, like I was saying, like what you said earlier, Dimeji said earlier about the quality assurance you talked about. I want to add that for the senior leadership team, it's important that they go through the procedures and the policies being used for distance learning, because all of these things need to be checked. If they're not checked, the best won't be achieved because there's no guideline to follow. He also mentioned something about checking the children online, if they're online and all of that, maybe every 10 minutes. And that made quite a lot of sense for me because, if you don't check to see who's there, sometimes they just put on their laptops and they're away, or they just don't come on at all. And if you don't keep calling the parents, or you don't keep encouraging them to come on, or you don't make the lesson interesting, all of those things would affect the quality of the distance learning, because you won't have enough children attending your class. That's one, and you won't be able to give quality delivery at the end of the day. So the leadership team should be the ones in charge of actually driving the quality of distance learning by checking all the modalities concerning quality assurance, concerning distance learning. And because that another thing is that we have key stakeholders when it comes to distance learning.
Mrs. Chiazor,
yeah.
Thank you very much for that, for all you said. But you've mentioned a whole lot of points about teachers doing their homework properly to make sure they are giving quality assurance, how they must always, the data is available everywhere, and how they should use it properly, how they should make sure they are giving quality lecture details to their students. Yeah. But I want you to reference reference to your school, like
Okay.
how have you been able to improve what you have in order to deliver quality lessons online?
Okay. So in my school actually, to deliver quality lessons online, we've done quite a lot. First of all, communication is key. That's the first thing, which I was going to come to later on, but communication is really key. Being able to let your teachers know or discuss with your teachers on ways that they can make things better, and also listen to their own ideas on ways they can make things better. Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, go on. We lost you for a few seconds, but you can continue. That's fine. You can increase the volume again. Please don't forget about the volume. Thank you.
No, I won't forget about the volume. Okay, so I said for my school, we are particular about excellence. That's number one, first of all, which is something that's very important. It's important for you to know what your vision is and what your goals are. So because of excellence, we tend to meet really often, talk about our lapses and where we can improve on what we've done. Okay, because like I said earlier, I don't know if you lost that. I said communication is key. We can't all just sit back and behave like that. Everything is going well, we know what to do, we're fine, and all of that. And then maybe a teacher somewhere is struggling, or maybe it's not being delivered properly, or maybe the children are attending and all of that. So I would like to say that beyond knowing all of these about quality assurance or about the quality delivery of the distance learning of the content, it's important that we also communicate with our team, being, like I said now, those that are responsible for quality assurance of distance learning are the teachers, the middle leaders, and the senior leadership team. And everyone knows that they are responsible for something. So I think that's the major thing. Everyone knows that they're responsible for something and they're trusted with that job. Okay, I hope I answered your question. Hello?
Okay, you have answered our question, but we want you to tell us more. Like, tell us the challenges you have had in delivering quality lessons online. How did you approach it? What plans do you have to support and communicate effectively with parents?
Okay, yes, that's going to come on later. Maybe I should start off with what it actually entails for the aspects first. Then I would go on to that, of course. But I'll talk about that today. I just want us to take it step by step so that everyone is on task, following through. Is that fine? Hello?
Okay. It's fine. It's fine.
Okay. Okay. So now when we look at the key stakeholders of distance learning, the key stakeholders are the parents and the students. Now, why did I say the parents? At this point now, the parents are exposed to much, as in like so much, unlike when the child comes to class and all of that. Now they're exposed to so much because they're there to work with their children. So whatever comes into depending on the age of the child, of course, even for the older children, parents are more involved now. They want to see what's going on. They're the ones that the children ask questions and all of that. So the parents can actually give the feedback that we need, to the quality of content or help the school to identify best practice, and also the students, because their voice is key. Without the student voice, we can't really achieve so much. So the student voice is also a key component of quality assurance, allowing the students to help to drive change and school development, not only empowers them, but enriches the school as a whole. So that's really a point that I wanted to mention before we go into that. So this would be about, it'd be good for us to just have like a reflection picture to know where your school is at the moment. Where your school is at the moment. Are you still trying to cross the bridge? Are you on the bridge? Are you trying to cross the bridge and you're about to fall off right here, maybe like your data or your school service provider or your teachers. It could be anything, you know. But this blog is just for us to like reflect, like a minute to reflect where we are right now in our various schools. Okay, and you mentioned the obstacles. You mentioned the challenges that you would face. Okay, I think I should answer that before I move on to the three basic how can I turn my mic? Sorry, can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Hello? Okay.
We can.
Now we have major challenges when it comes to online learning, I must say, and one of them is, you know, when it comes to monitoring. Like when you're in school, it's easy for you as a school leader to just walk into the classroom, monitor, you know, give your feedback and all of that. Yes, one of the challenges could be monitoring, but also a way you could approach a challenge like that is being online when the teachers are online, being able to conduct virtual learning works. And you can actually go into different classes, different lessons at the same time. I think it's one of the areas we also had an issue in my school. But we started doing that, and it's been really helpful. So no matter when I go into up to 10 classes, because it's virtual, I don't have to look into them, and these are things that I might not this way I might not be able to, if I had to go into classes on a normal day, I might not be able to go into up to 10 classes. But with this, I'm able to go into up to 10 classes. Another one is have confidence with digital tools. You know, it's something that's a very important point, because not everyone is very competent with digital tools. I would even say that even if you're an IT, you're into your techie and all of that, there are new tools that will come up that you will need to learn and all of that. So we need to be sure that our staff, you know, they're being trained to use those tools properly. We're about to resume school now. It's important that people do their webinars, people have their online meetings, so that they're sure that.
Okay. I'm sorry, Cici. I want to really ensure that everybody get this part that you want to share. But I think we have an issue with the mic or so. Maybe you try maybe directly on your device. Maybe the voice is going to be better or something. Or if you're using earphone, maybe you try directly speaking to the device. Maybe it's going to be better, because a lot of people actually are posting online that they really want to hear you. But the point you're sharing is so important to them. But I think it's a bit breaking. Maybe if you can try this approach, maybe it's going to be better. Let's see if it's going to be better maybe in another 1 minute.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yes, it's cool now. Maybe increase it a bit.
Okay, I think this is better now.
Yes, it's cool. So please.
Yes, I've been using I've been using earplugs since I was advised to use earplugs.
Oh, I think
it didn't work well.
Just go on.
Mrs. Chiazor.
Yeah.
There are so many questions buzzing for you right now. Like there are so many questions on from the audience. So we will need you to answer the question I have asked earlier, so that we can have a step-by-step
challenges, right?
interaction. Yes, what your challenges are and how you've been able to overcome what those challenges are.
Okay, I started that a few minutes ago, but I'll just go back. I'll go back to that now. Okay, so one of the challenges that we had would be, you know, monitoring teachers. You know, unlike when you're in school, you're able to go into the different classes, you're able to walk into the different classes and make your direct complaints or advice or whatever. But now, because we're online, we can't do that. So what we've been doing is going into the virtual classes. So if I'm online, for instance, I'm online, I go into this class, the next second I'm going to the next class. And I found out that we're able to go into as many classes in a day as well. And at the end of the day, we'd give our feedback. But you know, that is very important that we go into all of these classes to avoid any mistakes or to improve on what we're doing already. Also, another challenge that we had is start feeling confident with tools, okay, with the digital tools. And I'm sure this is something that happens in a lot of places because not everyone is tech savvy, and even if you're tech savvy, then you will still have one or two issues with maybe the new tool you're about to use or something, depending on what your school is introducing for the online learning. Okay, so now when we have that, when we notice that, immediately training starts, of course, and there's nothing like too much training on something. Okay, if you need to train them on something, do a webinar. Okay, do a webinar, have your live sessions, have your Skype, phone calls. You know, all of these things are very important, and that's the only way we can help the teachers actually be comfortable with their tool. Because if they're not comfortable with their tools, they can't deliver. No matter how we want to, yeah, they can't deliver.
Regarding this point that you have stated regarding delivery.
Yeah.
So there are 3 questions coming in from the audience. Okay. Somebody asked, how do you monitor, check class tasks, assessment, or communicate with your students individually? Like having individual check on your students.
Okay, now the students.
And somebody else asked, you spoke about middle leader. Who is the middle leader? Then the third question, so that we can answer all in one. The third question, how do we get the job delivery done when we have issues with teachers' network or even the teachers' inability to effectively use teaching platform?
Okay, so the first one was checking the children's performance. The next one was
one is who is the middle leader. The third is how do we get delivery done when we have issues with teachers' network or even teachers' inability to effectively use the teaching platform.
Okay. All right, now I'll start with the first one. Checking the pupils, checking the children's performance. Now this is really it's very easy. Could be quite tricky, but it's quite easy. First of all, documentation is key. So I'll start with the fact that every lesson must have a question time. They must have their ongoing assessments, and every day there must be daily reports on what was achieved in class. And every child must take part in the assessment. Now, this assessment could be on any platform. I don't know, there's so many platforms that schools use at this time. Okay, for instance, if you're using the Microsoft 365 or the Edmodo, okay, you would have, maybe you have the Microsoft Forms where you set the questions for the children. It's a quick quiz. And that is there, it's recorded there. So if I log on, because you're the school leader, okay, if you log on, you're able to access all the classes and all the data, all the classes. So you would know which child on the spot understood what they were doing or which child didn't understand. And at the same time, also encourage feedback from parents because they are the ones at home. They are the ones that can tell you, oh, he didn't understand it very well. Okay, he got this right, but he didn't get this part right. Maybe we need to ask all of that. And we also encourage the teachers to have that feedback process with their children. Now, and when the teachers are teaching, they're expected to continuously make sure that they call each child, answer certain questions, and make sure they reach every child before the end of the day, which is a very important part. When it comes to checking the child's performance, we have so many ways of assessing them online, and the assessment scores coming immediately, and you're able to see them, so you will know who's on point and who's not on point with you. So the second one will be the middle leader, right? So
yes, who is the middle leader?
The middle leader is the head of department. The middle leader is the head of year. For instance, maybe like you have class 2, you have a head of class 2 stream, for instance, or you have the head of English department, you have the head of math department, you have the head of section. For instance, maybe like you have the year 1, year 2, year 3, someone that takes care of that section. Okay, so they're the leaders that manage the teachers in small chunks before they actually report to the senior leadership management. I hope I got that. Okay, Now, getting delivery done for teachers that are not very good at using their tools. Am I right? Hello?
Yeah, we can hear you. We can hear you.
Okay, now when it comes to teachers and tools, I encourage a lot of support. Teachers need support at this time. They need so much support, because you can agree with me that having classes online is not the same as having it real time. You know, like in class physically. A lot of effort is being put in, and if we have to look at the factors in place here in Nigeria, there's so many things that could go wrong. Power could go wrong. Data could finish. Anything could happen. You know, we encourage the teachers to try to put in their best. We encourage them to charge their laptops. We encourage them to go on time for their classes. We coach them on how they should use their tools. And in cases where they're not really competent, we do a lot of phone calls, we do a lot of talk, we give a lot of support and encouragement. Because at this time, that's what teachers really need, so that they can put in their best.
Okay, ma'am, regarding our time, so what is going to be your last round of nuggets to as to delivering quality assurance? Your last nugget you need to share with schools and school owners and parents, in case parents are on this live stream, because parents need to work hand in hand with school owners to make this work effectively. So what will be your last nugget in order for us to round up this section?
Okay, now I'd like to advise everyone, let's all take this time we're in positively. Let's all support each other. It's not going to be easy. I've had parents complain about, oh, how much time they're putting into their child's work. I've had teachers complain, oh, how much they have to do at this time and all the new things they need to put in. But I encourage everyone to put in their best. It's not an easy time for anybody. Teachers should try their best to deliver quality content, which is very important. This is something I really want to talk about. You know, quality content, children properly, and communication. Now, these are the three major things that we need to do properly. Put out the content, assess properly, and communicate on time. You know, it's very easy for us to get carried away sometimes, you know, but it's important that we communicate with the parents. They know that this is what it is, this is how my child is faring, this is what we're doing next, how can you support your child? And the parents also that has feedback should please communicate with the school. This didn't go right, I think we need to do this better, or something like that, and so that everybody can work together towards achieving success. I think that's the major thing for me that I have to end with.
Okay, thank you very much. You've heard from Mrs. Chiazor. She has given us what we need to know, and she has told us what we need to do to ensure quality assurance in the delivery of academic learning to our students. So we are going to go on intermission. We are going to go on break. We are going to go on 2 minutes break before we head on to the next section of this team. The next session is going to be talking about smart use of technology, to be delivered by Mr. Dare Adebayo, the COO and co-founder of Edves Limited. Please, let's go on 2 minutes break. Thank you.
So Sisi, thank you very much for your time. And then we would like, maybe we can take off the share so that we can show the backdrop, so that we can get.
Okay, I tried to put on my video, but that's not working.
Unfortunately, I think it's we'll try to figure it out during the break and see if we can quickly do this. We're sorry about this. Okay. It's just one of those things that happen sometimes, and we're sorry about this.
Fine.
Sorry for that. Sorry.
One of our challenges, right?
Yes. I mean, we're trying to be perfect every time, but you know, sometimes something got broken like this. We apologize to the audience that you cannot see the beautiful face of Sisi, but you know, we'll find a way to make up for this later.
Fine, thank you. It was nice being here.
Thank you.
We'll try that.
So viewers. So we're going to have a very few minutes recess, and then we start with Dare, and then later we have Trisha to join us for the learning science. So thank you. In 2 minutes we will reconnect back. Thank you.